Right now at 6, another day of punishing extremes across the Northwest.
It really is something to take seriously. It can affect all of us, even if you think you're prepared.
What we're learning about the new deaths that may have been caused by the heat.
Plus, in Portland, new rules at the pool. What you'll now have to do before taking a dip in the deep end.
It might add one more step and a little bit of time, but I bet it's worth it in the long run.
Then, what a proposed supermarket mega merger might mean for your favorite spot to shop.
Also, rare sports cards and precious jewelry stolen in a blink of an eye.
And then turned around, and I mean, it was gone.
How police recovered his irreplaceable items.
We have just fallen below 100 degrees in the Rose City on this Tuesday. What is now day 5, the hottest across the Portland metro area of this extended and deadly heat wave, one that now appears to have claimed at least 6 lives. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pitawanich. We have team coverage tonight. Daisy Caballero has some useful tips about safety in the heat and what we're learning about those suspected heat-related deaths.
But first, let's get to Chief Meteorologist Matt Zafino. Matt, relief is in sight, so how much cooler are we looking for tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll break the back of this heat wave overnight tonight, but it's going to be a gradual process this evening. We had our hottest day of this heat wave today, so it's going to take time for temperatures to cool off. So we'll keep the weather impact alert going until about 10 o'clock tonight. Then things will begin to drop down below 80, 85 and begin to cool off. But it is a hot evening. Stay hydrated, have some patience for these last several hours of this heat wave. We ended up at 104 in Portland today, our hottest day since last August. 103 in Vancouver and Hillsborough. Down the valley, even hotter, 106 in Salem and Eugene. I'll have more on that for you coming up during the story at 6:30. And look at the 109s at the Dalles and Pendleton. Records falling all around the state. In fact, here are some of them. Portland, again, 104, breaking a record from the 1950s. We also had a record warm night last night. Never dropped below 67 at the airport. Never dropped below 69 downtown. I didn't see anybody that stayed in the 70s overnight, which is great. You know, we'll take the upper 60s over low 70s any night, right? But there are probably some pockets around the city that did stay that warm. Other records for you: Salem 105, Eugene 106, and of course that 109 over in the Dalles and Pendleton probably as well, setting a record. This is just a partial list of some of them that fell today. Now, we will be cooling off overnight tonight. That's what everybody wants to know about, but it is gradual. We're still in the 80s at midnight, still 75 at 2 a.m., finally into the 60s during the early morning hours around sunrise or so. If you're in the outlying areas or the suburbs, you'll drop into the 50s tonight, 58, 59 in the city. A little bit cooler than last night, but still very, very warm. Look at the Dalles right now at 105. Wow, they've picked up a west wind simply because it's so hot there. It's increasing the afternoon wind locally. Meanwhile, at the Oregon coast, though, 68. It's going to be a while before we're that cool during the afternoon, but that cooler coastal air will begin to make inroads tonight, guys.
So glad we were saying see you later to those triple digits. Thank you, Matt. All right, let's talk more about the impact of this dangerous sustained heat now.
Our Daisy Caballero is in Southwest Portland for us. And Daisy, you've been looking into some heat safety tips that are good to keep in mind.
Yeah, guys, and this heat right now is absolutely no joke. 5 people have already died suspected of heat-related reasons in Multnomah County since Friday. So here are a few heat safety tips for you to use today and for the next heat wave ahead.
As we're nearing the end of this triple-digit heat wave, it's important to continue to listen to your body, as not doing so can turn deadly.
We have, unfortunately, deaths in this country, deaths in this city, that occur from heat illness.
As of Tuesday afternoon, 5 people have died from suspected heat-related reasons, according to Multnomah County. The latest came on Monday with the death of a 67-year-old woman. Most of the deaths involved people older than 64 years old.
We see heat illness more in our elderly population and then our younger population.
Dr. Sean Robinson with OHSU says this is due to changes in cooling mechanisms, so it's important for everyone to do a few things aside from staying hydrated and out of the sun.
Just getting your clothing wet while you're out and about can help that evaporation and cool you off.
And it's also been a pretty busy week for first responders.
I would say the calls that we've seen during this heat wave are consistent with past heat waves that we had.
Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue oversees 390 square miles in their district. That's home to more than 500,000 people. They've responded to several medical, fire, and heat-related calls since Friday, some of which were from people working on their yard outdoors.
I know multiple people who have had experiences with heat-related illness and never thought that it would be them, right? Or maybe their child too.
And while temperatures are expected to dip back down into the low 90s and upper 80s during this next week, Dr. Robinson says to listen to your body and take breaks when needed, and shares having 150 minutes of exercise per week can greatly help your body prepare for future heat waves.
So if you could be fit, that does help you, so that the more healthy you are, the better off that you are.
Now, 911 dispatchers have also stayed very busy throughout this entire heat wave. Between midnight Friday and 10:30 this morning, BOIC has received 48 heat-related calls, most of which took place this weekend. Back to you guys.
Yeah, great reporting there. I see some people out on the river trying to stay cool. I hope you stay cool too now, Daisy. Thank you. For more information on staying cool in this hot weather, all you have to do is text the word HEAT to the number there on your screen, 503-226-5088. We'll text you right back with a link to our growing list that includes cooling centers, fountains, and splash pads.
Let us hope that will soon be a shrinking list. All right, in your headlines, recovery operations are being scaled back in the search for a teenager in Polk County presumed to have drowned over the weekend while swimming in the Willamette. The teen went into the water Sunday afternoon at Riverview Park and never resurfaced. Dive teams and a Coast Guard helicopter crew searched in the water and from the air, but as of today, the recovery effort will continue only with boat patrols. Riverview Park has now reopened.
And we've learned the name of the man shot and killed in a Northeast Portland motel parking lot over the weekend. 25-year-old Dante Mathis's family shared this photo of him. He was killed Saturday night at the Madison Suites Motel along Northeast 82nd and Beach Street. Police have not released any information about a motive or suspect. Mathis was one of 3 people killed in shootings in just over 24 hours in Portland.
We now know which local grocery stores Kroger plans to sell to a competitor if federal regulators approve a $24 billion merger with Albertsons. Kroger, the parent company of Fred Meyer and QFC, proposed the merger with Albertsons, who also owned Safeway, back in 2022. But to win federal approval, Kroger agreed to sell off more than 500 stores nationwide to C&S Wholesale Grocers. The list released today names 186 stores in Oregon and Washington, more than 50 of which are in the Portland Metro and Vancouver area. However, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, and 9 states sued Kroger and Albertsons to block that merger. A trial scheduled in an Oregon federal court late next month. We have the full list of stores up for you at KGW.com.
Also, a quick reminder, this weekend ODOT will be shutting down a stretch of I-84 to clean up graffiti and trash. Starting at 11 Saturday night, all lanes of I-84 in both directions will close between I-5 and I-205. That is a 7-mile stretch. The MAX and freight trains in the area will also be suspended. And northbound I-5 over the Markham Bridge will be closed too for bridge maintenance. Both closures will end at noon on Sunday. Union Pacific Railroad, TriMet, Peabot, Metro, and Multnomah County are also involved in the cleanup. Now at 6, if you're like a lot of people right now, you've probably been spending at least a little time at the local pool to try to cool off. But Portland Parks and Rec has new rules for swimmers.
This is interesting. Joe Ranieri's live at North Portland's Peninsula Pool. Joe, I'm sure you'd rather be in the water right now. What's the deal?
I absolutely would, and same with my photographer, Nick Bieber. But again, the new rules here at Portland Pools require both kids and adults and everyone else in between to take a swimming test before they can go swimming in the deep end. Again, we're live outside Peninsula Pool where it's been packed all day long and really the last couple of days during this heat wave. Now, as you walk through the pool, the first thing you're going to notice is the signs telling swimmers about the new rules. Now, the new rules went into effect late last month, and already parents I spoke to are glad the park and rec department started to put these new rules in place. It was last summer, you might remember, when a girl was found unresponsive at the Montevilla outdoor pool in Northeast Portland. Park officials said it was the first apparent drowning at a Portland pool since 1985. A spokesperson with the Portland Parks and Rec says safety is top priority. During open play swim sessions, all swimmers wanting to swim in the deep end or lap pool will be required to pass a swim test and wear a wristband showing they passed the test.
I actually think it's fabulous. I'm not that strong of a swimmer, so I would love it if somebody could just give me the once over to make sure I can get from one end to the other.
If you're not swimming or don't have a wristband, you'll be asked to go to the shallow areas of the pool. Again, a new change to the pools this summer is you're no longer allowed to wear a life jacket in the deep end. You can in the shallow end, but not the deep end. And if you're wondering, so how do I pass this swimming test? Well, I talked to swimmers who passed it earlier today. They told me you have to start in the shallow end, which is at 3 feet, and swim with no assistance to the deep end at 8 feet. And that is how you pass this swimming exam. But something very safe that, you know, Portland Parks want people to take precaution in, not just during this heat wave, but all the time, and especially during the summer months. Back to you guys.
Interesting change, Joe. I hope you're going to be cooling down now that your shift is winding to an end. Thanks, Joe.
All right, to breaking news now, and a wildfire that is forcing evacuations in Wasco County. The Larch Creek fire is burning near the town of Friend that is west of Kingsley. In the last 30 minutes, the sheriff's office issuing level 2 and 3 evacuation orders. Those under level 3 meaning go now are to the south and east of Friend. That includes Clark Miller Road to J. Hicks Road, then Kingsley Friend Market Road south to Postage Stamp Road. Evacuees can take their animals and head to the Wasco County Fairgrounds. The fire is covering about 10 to 20 acres right now. We will keep you posted. Straight ahead at 6, a bag filled with rare sports cards swiped from a Mac stop. How police say they found the goods and got the alleged thief who grabbed them to give herself up.
And climbers on 2 of Oregon's highest peaks found themselves in trouble over the weekend. We have new video of the dramatic mountain rescues. Stay with us.